We had minutes for a number of meetings sent out. Can we do this collectively, or we didn't need?
You can. You can do it together.
Are there any changes, adjustments need to be made to any of the minutes sent out?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting, May 19th, the special meeting, May 6th, the special meeting, June 3rd, and the executive meeting on June 2nd.
I have a motion from Nancy.
I will second. Paul?
I have a second from Paul. Any further considerations? If not, all in favor of accepting those minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. First thing on the agenda here is a public hearing for Indiana Furniture. It's regarding a confirmatory resolution tax abatement for IFI. This is published in the Herald on May 29th of 2021. So I'd like to open the public hearing. Is there anyone that speaks to this? Seeing none, I would take a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Dave to close the public hearing.
Second.
Second from John. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, resolution number 2021-10. It's a resolution of the Common Council confirming the designation of a portion of the city of Jasper as an economic revitalization area and approving statements of benefits. This is available for one reading only.
I would make a motion to go ahead and read by one reading only, please.
I have a motion from Paul for one reading only and a second from Kevin. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Could I have a motion to have the resolution read in full or by title only?
I'll make a motion to read the resolution by title only.
I have a motion from Nancy to read by title only.
I'll second.
I have a second from Phil. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Would the city attorney please read resolution 2021-10 by title only?
Resolution number 2021-10, a resolution of the Common Council confirming the designation of a portion of the city of Jasper as an economic revitalization area and approving statements of benefits, Indiana Furniture Industries Incorporated.
I have a motion to pass and adopt resolution number 2021-10.
I'll make that
Motion.
I have a motion from Kevin and a second from Nancy. Any further discussion on this? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. I'll open up a public hearing regarding Indiana Furniture Utility Easement Vacation. This was published in the Herald on June 10th, 2021.
Good evening, Council. Brad Eckerly, Roseman Land Surveying and Engineering. Here for you tonight on behalf of Indiana Furniture Industries, and this request is specific for a portion of a public utility and drainage easement that's on the Indiana Company's first edition. So I'll just show you an exhibit here and give you a little background where we're headed. So we noticed this and in coordination and presentation to the Utility Service Board on Monday. I did receive a favorable recommendation in regard to vacating this easement. The proper notifications and advertisements were submitted to the appropriate parties. This is located, Indiana Furniture is on the southwest side of the city within corporation limits, City of Jasper. This would be 100 County Road 100 South here. So the existing Indiana Furniture Industries lies right here. The yellow outline that you see is the perimeter for the subdivision known as the Indiana Company's First Edition. And when that was platted, this red line along the east side of that subdivision is a 20-foot public utility and drainage easement. And we're here this evening to seek for the vacation of this. The reason for the request is associated partially with the fact that we do have an existing building that is over the easement. And then with some work that we're doing on a new subdivision plat, we're actually encapsulating some ground here to the east and 2 meets and bounds to where we'll be, in a sense, cleaning up to where we have one platted lot, and we're moving and dedicating new public utility drainage easements around that. So what we found with existing utility infrastructure, there is no infrastructure within this. There's a couple aerial electric service lines. I think communication was in here as well, but that's a private service, so it doesn't impact our public stance in that regard. So really, in a sense, I have one exhibit I'll show you. This is the plat that I was speaking of with the 2 lots, and that's the easement we're seeking to vacate. And in the end, this red area, the red outline here, will be our new platted limits that we're going through the process. And this purple is what we're basically looking to eliminate. So in coordination with utilities, we feel that this vacation has no negative impacts, and we're set up then for any future extensions and/or services to this specific subdivision that would be needed. So entertain any questions.
Looks good.
Just a clarification, the easement to the building as it exists today, does that become private line then?
That will sustain as it is. It just by chance, the private service line is located within the physical location of the existing platted PUD. Just by happenstance. It was not intended to come within that. Typically, our private service lines, the intention is to keep them out of the public utility and drainage, so.
Anybody have any questions?
And did you say that's a communication line?
Electric, or City of Jasper Electric. Yeah, I did not get confirmation, but I think there is communication in there as well.
And at the Utility Service Board, no utility managers had a problem with doing this?
Correct, yeah. I was in Indianapolis, so I won't speak that I heard that directly, but
There's no issues with
yeah, but
There.
Phil did present, and there was no issues, that's right.
Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Is there anyone else here that wants to speak on this issue?
Hearing no one wanting to speak, Mayor, I would go ahead and make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, I have a motion from from Paul to close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
A second from Dave. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hearing is closed. So next is the ordinance number 2021-17, which is an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Jasper, Indiana, vacating a public utility and drainage easement.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2021-17, an ordinance of the Common Council vacating a public utility and drainage easement for Indiana Furniture Industries.
I need to go through the readings, I think, just to make sure we get them all in appropriate order. Yeah. So I need a motion to consider the ordinance for one reading only.
Okay, you've got it from Paul.
Motion for Paul,
Yep.
Second.
second from John. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Could I have a motion to have the ordinance read in full or by title only?
Go ahead and make a motion to read by title only, please, Mayor. Paul?
Title only.
By Paul? Can I get a second from Dave? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Would the city attorney please read ordinance number 2021-17 by title only?
Ordinance number 2021-17, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Jasper, Indiana, vacating a public utility and drainage easement, Indiana Furniture Industries Incorporated.
Could I have a motion to pass and adopt ordinance number 2021-17?
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Kevin,
I'll second.
any further discussion on this? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, ordinance 2021-17 has passed.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, council.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is ordinance number 2021-12, an ordinance authorizing the entering into of a confidential project expenditure agreement of the City of Jasper, Indiana, reference University Heights project, and the granting of the proceeds thereof to KFAM Partners, LLC, or its successors and assigns, and authorizing and approving other actions in respect thereto. So, with ordinance number 2021-12, could I have a motion to read the ordinance on the second reading in full or by title only?
I'll make a motion to read that ordinance by title only.
I have a motion from Nancy to read by title only.
I'll second.
A second from Kevin. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Would the city attorney please read the ordinance 2021-12 by title only?
Ordinance number 2021-12, an ordinance authorizing the entering into of a conditional project expenditure agreement of the City of Jasper, Indiana, University Heights project, and the granting of proceeds thereof to KFAM Partners, LLC, or its successors and assigns, and authorizing and approving other actions in respect thereto.
Could I have a motion to approve the ordinance on second reading?
So moved.
A motion from John,
I'll second.
a second from Kevin. Further discussion?
I just want to point out, if you recall, when we had the first reading, we had a different value for the infrastructure components, and so that has changed from the original, which was $581,250, to the new amount, which is $647,000.
And still payable over the same 7-year time frame, correct?
Okay.
And also, I believe that Councilmember Leakin had mentioned about not obligating the city to make any interest payments, and that either was in there or has been added.
You're correct. That has also been added. And that is also in the agreement itself.
I think this updated value was reflective of some material pricing increases that we received, or
Yeah, there was an addition of a second point of egress.
Hey, Ruger,
if you want to,
Sorry.
Ruger, go ahead and.
Thanks, Ruger.
Ruger Kirsteins with Premier Property Management, specifically in this project, KFAM Partners LLC. For clarification, I apologize for the complicated name. It stands for Kirsteins Partners, Kirstein Family Partners LLC. So The reason for the cost increase for going from the $581,250 to the $647,000, one, in part due to material increases. That was one part of it. Whenever I first proposed, I didn't have the second point of egress leading out of the south end of the lot onto Meridian Street. To further plan for anticipating the needs to meet what the neighbors wanted adjoining the property and what the city of Jasper had anticipated what could potentially come up. I wanted to make sure I had all of the cost included. So that's why I added the second point of egress leading out to Meridian Street. That you're seeing there on the bottom left hand of your page, and that small, want me to hold on until you get this pulled up?
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. That smaller, I wouldn't say small, it's a 3,000 square foot building. There on the corner reflects the future commercial building. There leading out. The downside to the second point of egress going out is it decreased size of that building, but to meet current standards of the city of Jasper, we brought that second point of egress out. So that's where the cost increase comes from the original presentation that I had presented. I think it was in April.
Ruger, on that point of egress, is that right across from that gas station or connecting with that intersection?
Yeah, so it's directly across. So the gas station would be directly across the street from there, and it's off the intersection a little bit. It's not right at the turn, but it's no.
I got a question. Again, Paul, this will come before the zoning board?
That's correct. We have not,
The plan commission.
have not seen it come before Plan Commission yet, or BZA.
I guess my concern again is the people that live out there in that area and what we've, or I should say, you have
Yeah.
been able to come up with as far as helping their concerns. So
Yeah.
We did meet this week with Ruger, and I think their plan is to submit an application so that they can appear at the August meetings.
That's correct.
the August meeting.
August planning.
August Planning Commission meeting, so.
Board.
And the BZA.
So that would be the
And-
month in August there, and that would be at 6:30. 6:30 BZA, and this is the first meeting, and then Planning Commission would follow 7 o'clock or thereafter, whenever we finish up with BZA, in case any of you would like to come.
So the people from that area, that's the meeting you guys want to come to then too, for that meeting there. And again, I don't know if you've come up with any other ideas or anything, but I have not heard anything about it if you have, so.
The change, and also, I didn't make a comment on it, but the infrastructure cost increase, it doesn't look as if I adjust anything, but I pulled back the buildings from the houses considerably on the north end of the lot and pulled as far as I possibly could to the road where we're actually going to be requesting variance potentially for how close it is to the road down there. But we pulled it as far down as we could, and with that natural hilltop there, it's going to provide a nice barrier from the neighboring properties to this new development.
Did you pass that information along to the neighbors?
Yes, at the last meeting I had, I'd mentioned that I pulled the adjustments that I've made to this to the project. At this time, I had adjusted it as far as I could, and this is going to be what I'll be presenting in August. And I've made as many alterations and as I could.
Okay,
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I would like to thank you for the egress not coming out on Miller Lane. I think that's a plus to start with.
I agree. Yeah. Good. All right. Thank you.
Any other discussion regarding this? If not, I'd like to call for a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, second reading is passed.
Go ahead and make a motion to have the third reading of the ordinance read by title only.
Okay, Resolution 2021-12. I have a motion to move forward with that in a one reading only.
This will be the third reading.
Third reading, yep.
It's a one reading only, no, the third reading. Sorry.
We're only having the third reading one time.
You only have a third reading one time. Okay, and Paul, you made a motion?
Correct.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Kevin. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Could I have a motion to have the resolution read in full or by title only?
Sorry, I'll go back to reading by title only, please. Paul?
And Nancy? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Will the city attorney please read resolution 2012-12 by title only?
Ordinance number 2021-12, an ordinance authorizing the entering into of a conditional project expenditure agreement of the City of Jasper, Indiana, University Heights Project, and the granting of the proceeds thereof to KFAM Partners LLC or its successors and assigns, and authorizing and approving other actions in respect thereto.
Okay, could I have a motion to pass and adopt resolution 2021-12?
So moved.
Motion from John?
I'll second.
Second from Phil. Further discussion?
So that you're aware of the entire process, by passing the ordinance, you have authorized the city to take appropriate action to pass or approve and execute the financing agreement and the conditional expenditure agreement. And by approving those, then we will go through a process. We'll establish a date for a closing, and we'll go through that process. And then once the construction starts, we will have to receive invoices that show what the money's being spent on, and those invoices will be reimbursed.
As funds are available.
Right.
It takes a little bit of time.
That's right.
To build that up.
Other questions? Comments? Okay. Hearing none, I will ask for a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Excuse me. Next thing is a public hearing regarding the annexation of Brookstone 7. So I'd like to open the public hearing this time. Is there anyone who can speak to it? If you would, just come forward and identify yourselves.
Scared him.
I thought they were going to speak to Brookstone 7. That's okay.
Mayor, seeing no public comment on here, I would go ahead and vote to close, or make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, I have a motion from Paul to close the public hearing. And I have a second from Nancy. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mayor, before you go on to the next, to the ordinance 2021-18, we have to come back and pick up the resolution for the adoption of the fiscal plan. That's resolution number 2021. It's at the bottom of the first page of the agenda, right before the public hearing.
2021-12.
Right. Yep.
Couple 12s in there.
Yeah, okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Ordinance to resolution, you're right. Okay, with regard to the resolution 2021-12. It's a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Jasper, Indiana, adopting a written fiscal plan and establishing a policy for the provision of services to an annexed area. Could I ask for a motion to consider the resolution for one reading only?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Could I have a motion to have the resolution read in full or by title only?
Make the motion to read by title only, Mayor?
I'll second it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Please read Resolution 2021-12 by title only.
Oh, I'm sorry. Resolution number 2021-12, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Jasper, Indiana, adopting a written fiscal plan and establishing a policy for the provision of services to an annexed area, Brookstone 7.
I have a motion to pass and adopt resolution number 2021-12.
So move.
Motion from Nancy.
I'll second.
Second from Phil. Further discussion?
It's nice seeing one of these again.
It is. It is. Any comments? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now I'll move on to next item. So we're at ordinance 2021-18, correct? Okay, ordinance number 2021-18 is an ordinance annexing the certain adjacent and contiguous territory into the corporate limits of the city of Jasper, Indiana, also known as Brookstone 7. This is available for one reading only.
This is available for the first reading.
First reading, okay. Could I have a motion to read the ordinance on first reading in full or by title only?
Mayor, I would go ahead and make a motion to grant the first reading by title only, please.
I'll second it.
Motion by Paul and a second by Kevin. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Will the city attorney please read the ordinance?
Ordinance number 2021-18, an ordinance annexing certain adjacent and contiguous territory into the corporate limits of the city of Jasper, Indiana, Brookstone 7.
Could I have a motion to approve the ordinance on first reading?
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Kevin,
I'll second it.
second from Dave. Further discussion?
Just a clarification, it is 27.124 acres, correct? That's what it says. So just want to make sure.
Okay.
Last piece of the puzzle out there.
That is just the big tract.
Yeah,
Plus, there are two other parcels.
of those other individuals,
Pardon me?
the other parcels the other individuals already own.
Yep.
I thought in one of the others it said 28.944 acres in the area. Yeah. all.
No, that's,
Other discussion?
It's nice. It's been a long time coming through the planning and zoning and this board and that board, and it was great to see the city in cooperation with the developers help take care of some water issues long-term out there, and I think that's going to be well received by the time it's all said and done. So it'd be great to get this one behind us and move on to the next project.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, I would call for a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And then at the next meeting, will it be the second and third readings? Okay.
yes.
Next item is ordinance number 2021-16, an ordinance providing for a uniform code for traffic upon the public streets of the city of Jasper, Indiana, stop intersections designated. Could I have a motion to consider the ordinance for one reading only?
Go ahead and make that motion, Mayor, for one reading only, please.
Motion from Paul,
I'll second.
second from Kevin. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Could I have a motion to have the ordinance read in full or by title only?
Go ahead and make the motion to be read by title only, please.
Paul,
I'll second.
second from Kevin. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Will the city attorney please read ordinance number 2021-16 by title only?
Ordinance number 2021-16, an ordinance providing for a uniform code for traffic upon the public streets of the city of Jasper, Indiana, stop intersections designated.
Could I have a motion to pass and adopt 2021-16?
So move.
I have a motion from Nancy.
I'll second.
Second from Phil. Further discussion.
Is this just technical?
Yeah, as we add subdivisions mostly, but occasionally when an intersection changes, or we add, like, for example, on Portersville Road, we added a stop sign, and we have to go through and add them to our ordinance.
But these stop signs are already out there, right?
That's correct.
So prior to this ordinance, if you ran that, Dave, you would.
I would never do that.
It did go to the Board of Public Works as a resolution, and then the list was generated by the engineering department, and street department reviewed it.
It's quite an addition, so. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The next item is resolution number 2021-11. This is a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Jasper accepting a restricted use donation from Caroline Kiefner, member of the Girl Scouts of America. It's a $2,000 donation for water bottle filling station at the Bonert Park. It's available for one reading only procedure. Could I have a motion to consider the resolution for one reading only?
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Dave.
Second.
Second from John. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Could I have a motion to have the resolution read in full or by title only?
Motion to read by title only.
Motion from Kevin to read by title only.
I'll second.
Second by Paul. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Would the city attorney please read resolution 2021-11 by title only?
Resolution number 2021-11, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Jasper, Indiana, accepting a restricted use donation. Caroline Kiefner, member of the Girl Scouts of America.
Could I have a motion to pass and adopt Resolution 2021-11?
I'll make that motion.
Kevin?
I'll second it.
Second from Dave. Further discussion?
I just wanted to mention that we'll probably do a ribbon cutting for this, and so everybody would be welcome to attend and really to congratulate her on this project.
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, this has been a project that she's been working through with the Parks Department for months, and the fact that you get a young person that's willing to make this kind of contribution to the city and community, I think it's wonderful. Good experience for her, and it's a great asset for the community.
Did she come to the park board meeting this last month?
I think it was,
It all just been paper, 2 months ago? Okay. Yep.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. It's another good example of how our youth are getting involved in our community, so. Next item on the agenda is ordinance number 2021-19. It's an ordinance establishing rates and charges for the customers of the Jasper Municipal Electric Utility. Could I have a motion to read the ordinance on the first reading in full or by title only?
Move to read by title only.
I have a motion to read it by title only for Kevin.
Second, Paul?
Second by Paul. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Would the city attorney please read the ordinance?
ordinance number 2021-19, an ordinance establishing rates and charges for the customers of the Jasper Municipal Electric Utility, amending Jasper Municipal Code, Section 11.08.
Could I have a motion to approve the ordinance in the first reading?
I'll make that motion.
Kevin?
I'll second.
Second from Nancy. Further discussion?
I do want to mention that on the ordinance, it doesn't say municipal, it says municipal. Something, it must be a typo. And then in the agenda, it also uses that same terminology, so I didn't know if that was a term we weren't familiar with.
No.
Okay, so it should be municipal.
Yes.
Okay.
It will be changed. We'll have that changed by the time you see it for the second and third readings.
And actually, when it says amending, that municipal is not spelled correctly either, right underneath that in parentheses.
That is. Municipal, I don't know. Does everyone know where the parking spaces will be?
Yeah.
Okay. We will have 2 parking spaces located down at River Center on what we had been referring to as the north parking lot. Do I have pictures? Let me see here. And then 2 will be located up in the square, or next to, in the parking lot next to the post office.
And all that is city-owned property.
That's correct.
How long does it take to charge a vehicle? Anybody know?
I think that Bud thought it was, an average was maybe about 4 hours.
So is,
Sure, it depends on,
and anybody can go down and use the charging places?
yes.
So even like down at the River Center, you don't have to stay there to use it?
No, it's a public.
Phone on some of it. So you can use your phone on some of them, pulling up to those app stations, and it's credit card billing, but
And how will these operate?
They will have credit card.
And then I noticed there's a camping fee if you stay longer. So who is policing that to determine that a car's not there longer than their charge time takes?
That's a great,
Overnight, and it's reading your credit card information. So it would have it if you're beyond the 4 hours or.
up, the ones by the post office, that's, Connie passes through there. We'll just have to see if the ones down by the River Center, if that becomes a problem. then we'll have to figure that out. But right now,
Because if someone's parked there and they're charged already, someone else can't get a charge.
exactly.
Can you guys at IFI drive your new robots in those and charge them?
Pretty small. Pick up the cars and move them automatically.
Well, the good thing is on the camping fee, we get $2 an hour on it too, so.
Right, if you want to leave it there overnight, that's not only will you be charged, but, you'll.
It's nice to add for the city to add 4 more. I think we've got 4 in town already, 4 electric charging stations here already, and this will add an additional 4, so.
And most of this was put in with grant money through IMPA and through a settlement that was with another manufacturer.
So are there 4 more? There are 2 at the River Center. I don't really want to call it the River Center parking lot because it's not their parking lot.
Parking lot down.
But 2 there and then 2 at the post office parking lot.
It's been designated as hotel parking. So we have a lease agreement with them. We've already spoken to Jane, and I'm drafting an amendment so that we are clear that those 2 parking spaces are now going to be public parking spaces.
And there'll be signage to indicate that? Okay.
Where are the other 4 at, Paul?
So Ruxers has 3 in front of their lot that you can go in and charge in on, and then has got 1, a Tesla station between the Schnitz and the Hampton Inn.
Okay.
And you'll start seeing a few. Ruxers sold their first electric vehicle about 3 weeks ago. We saw it in the parking lot today, running around, so.
Well, it gave our utility employees a little experience working with these stations as well. So there was some other side benefit to it. They had to go through some training and on the installation, so they have a better understanding as to how these stations will work.
It's a real plus for our community to.
It is. It is, okay. I have a motion from Kevin and a second from Nancy. Any other discussion on it? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And then we'll have second and third readings at the next meeting with these also.
And a public hearing.
Okay, Resolution 2021-13. I'm just, wait, before I go any farther, do I have any more IFI business here?
I think so.
And we got through
Just want to make sure.
They're just good civic-minded and people that want to stay here for the entire meeting this evening.
Well, that's what I wondered. I just, guys must be really bored.
Just wanted to make sure we had you guys covered and I didn't forget anything. Well, thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So Resolution 2021-13 is a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Jasper, Indiana, to opt out of the opioid settlement pursuant to Indiana Code 46152.
Well, I'll go ahead and make a motion for reading by, well, 1 reading.
For 1 reading, Paul?
Yeah, 1 reading only, please.
I'll second it.
Dave? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ask for a motion to have the resolution read in full or by title only.
Read by title only.
The title only from Kevin.
I'll second.
Second from Phil. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Would the city attorney please read Resolution 2021-13 by title only?
Resolution number 2021-13, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Jasper, Indiana, to opt out of opioid settlement pursuant to Indiana Code Section 4-6-15-2.
I have a motion to pass and adopt Resolution 2021-13.
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Kevin,
I'll second it.
second from Dave. Further discussion?
I just want to point out that if you do pass this, you all have to sign it.
Yeah, that's true. You must leave. There's a timeline where we have to get it to the Secretary of State's.
Tomorrow.
So we have to sign this before we leave.
I just read an article in one of the papers that so many cities are opting out of this, just like we're doing.
Yeah.
And this is a, what is it, 60-day?
60-day period if we want to go back in. Anything else? Any other points? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is that a separate document here, Alan, or is it? We'll go ahead and pull that out and pass it around. Yeah, here it is. So this, everyone needs to sign. If you want to go ahead, Dave. The next item on the agenda is ordinance number 2021-20, which is additional appropriations. And this is available for the first reading in full or by title only.
Go ahead and make the motion to read by title only.
A motion from Paul to read by title only.
I'll second.
I have a second from Kevin. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Will the city attorney please read the ordinance 2021-20 by title only?
Ordinance number 2021-20, an ordinance appropriating additional money for the city of Jasper, Indiana for the remainder of the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021.
Could I have a motion to approve the ordinance on first reading?
I'll make that motion.
Nancy. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Paul. Alan, you want to state anything about this?
I'll go over what this is. The first one is $30,000 for the GIS system. It's utility's actually going to pay it, but it's a reimbursable. So the city has to pay it, and utilities are going to reimburse us. And so we gave them $48,000 was the first appropriation. This one, $30,000 will cover the entire cost of it, and then we're going to get reimbursed back. All right. And the second one for $600,000 is for the Courthouse Square, the engineering and design. The cost that we've got was $579,600, so I put $600,000 in there from the Lowell Special Distribution Fund, which we currently have $759,125. So it's going to take that down. We've had the Lowell Special Distribution Fund since 2016. We got $1.2 million or $1.3 million in it when we started, so we've been chipping away at it, and this is just going to take more of it down. We're still going to have about $150,000 left in it. Are there any questions?
Just in case, that is broken down, $480,800 is the actual Courthouse Square, and then $98,800 is for the Main Street from 2nd Street to 5th and from 7th to 9th.
Any other discussion on it? The appropriations? I have a motion from Nancy and a second from Paul, so all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And again, it looks like there's continued here, or second and third in July.
First reading only. And I guess just as a procedural thing, comment a little bit about these first readings. We felt like we were going to slow down a little bit and give everyone time to think through these once they've been presented the materials, so you can digest it, ask the questions that need to take place, rather than.
One reading only is actually the exception. The normal procedure is at least 2 separate meetings, first reading, first meeting, and then second and third meeting, or even 3 meetings, but.
So the next item on the agenda is Ordinance Number 2021-14, or Resolution Number 2021-14, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Jasper, Indiana, regarding participation of the Indiana Ready Grant Funding Program. Here, Jasper's partnering with ROI and Radius Indiana to create the Ready Regional Plan, and this is available for 1 reading only procedure. Could I have a motion to consider the resolution for 1 reading only?
So moved.
I have a motion from John.
I'll second.
Second from Kevin. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Could I have a motion to have the resolution read in full or by title only?
I'll make a motion to read by title only.
I have a motion from Nancy.
I'll second.
Second from Phil. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Would the city attorney please read Resolution 2021-14 by title only?
Resolution number 2021-14, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Jasper, Indiana, regarding participation in the Indiana Ready Grant Funding Program.
Could I have a motion to pass and adopt Resolution number 2021-14?
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Kevin.
Second from Paul.
Paul. Further discussion? This is one of the most complicated decisions as to how to align ourselves, but it made sense as we started sorting through the options that were made available to us to align with ROI and Radius. Well, there's so many terminologies that are out there to refer to this territory, but from a regional development, we align well with them, and we want to move forward with that into the future. Go ahead.
Are we going to have to apply for this?
They will do the application.
So we will ask for a certain amount of money?
They will include our projects in their listing, and then all the schematics of how it's all going to work, the logistics of it have not been worked out yet. But it'll be dependent on regional projects, so crossing borders, that benefits the territory.
And I think it's important to note that Du Bois County is also decided to go in this Indiana Uplands or ROI region, so we're not out there independent of the county. We're doing what the county is doing also.
Yeah, we were all involved in the same discussions and decided to go this way. So the city of Huntingburg will be adopting something similar, I think.
So does it cost us anything to do this?
My answer to does it ever cost you anything? Nothing's ever free, but it's no. There's no fee to apply for this Ready Grant at this point in time. They'll put it together on our behalf.
And the state wants every county to be in some region. So you cannot apply for the Ready funds as an independent county. You have to be part of a region.
We have asked for consideration for including some other surrounding counties that have been omitted from some of the regional plans because they are partners for us in a number of ways. So that's under consideration by ROI, the Uplands. But at this point in time, they are not affiliated with it. We would just identify them as maybe additional territories to go into this grant, and that's still under consideration at this time. So with that, I have a motion from Kevin, and a second by Paul. If there's no other questions about it, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Do have one more thing that wasn't on the agenda, and that is just to congratulate Du Bois County and specifically Southridge and Jasper High School for their state championship wins. It's a lot of pride that comes back to this county through their efforts, and we are a baseball mecca. How's that? What we've got going on around here. Congratulate both communities and the school systems and all the players, coaches, students, parents, everybody involved. With that, I would entertain.
Really neat today when Southridge came through, all the people out cheering the Southridge team, of course, then cheering the Jasper team when they came through too, but that was nice to see that community spirit.
There's a lot of hard work that goes into that, and you might even add, girls tennis made it to the state, and
There, yeah.
we ought to add them too. And any other qualifier, I think there might have been some swimmers or divers, and it's a lot of hard work and commitment.
Right, sometimes we forget people that should be recognized and for their efforts and for their representation for our community. Great ambassadors for Jasper. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Kevin,
I'll second it.
second from Dave. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Meeting adjourned.